Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being here with us. We had a severe internet glitch in the beginning. Our complete internet service in the area went down. It suddenly came up, I guess, 30 minutes prior into the show. We're going to still have our full 1 hour show. So you have not lost anything, my friends. You have not lost anything. We are going to have the show for the duration. Again, we don't know what's happening. We don't know why the internet went down. We don't know all these things, but it doesn't matter because we are here. We're going to have a great show for you today. If I'm a bit frazzled in the beginning, it's simply because, again, as we tried to get the internet up, we went ahead and tried all kinds of things, including using cellular, but I guess the internet problem was likely through the entire area. Not to sweat it, however. We are here. So today's subject at hand is titled, Why Are Trump's Polls Up? Yeah, Trump's polls are up. The second topic, and I think they should really bleed into each other, is pretty much good can come from coronavirus if we allow it. And a lot of people, sometimes they sit down and like, what the hell are you talking about? People are dying. People are hurting. Yes, they are. But you know what? We can actually use this because, folks, our economy is in shambles. We can actually use this for a better good. We can use this for better good. Lawrence Sims, yes, we worked it out. Actually, it's not like we worked it out. It's more like it worked out on its own via the internet company. You know, we had when we called the internet company to find out exactly why are we not able to broadcast to YouTube, broadcast to all these other things. They said, okay, we have right now a 20-minute hold, and I'm like, oh my God, 20-minute hold. And as that was happening, we continued to play and recycle the modems with the hope that it would go through, and luckily the hope went through, and we got this stuff going. Anyhow, so we're going to have a great show as I cycle and get all these different channels up and running. We are going to have a great show. Anyhow, title of the show: Why are Trump polls up? Good can come from coronavirus, but good can only come from the coronavirus if we allow it. In other words, yes, it can happen, but we must allow it. So what exactly does this mean? Trump polls numbers are more than steady. They're actually rising. And I really think we ought to look at that. His polls are, in fact, rising. And why do you think that's the case? Come on, folks, ponder that. Why are his polls rising? Anybody have any ideas? Why? Drop me a note and tell me why he's rising. Anyhow, Trump poll numbers are more than steady. They are rising. Let's discuss that and why it is possible to create. Why is it possible to create a positive out of the coronavirus epidemic? We are going to have to do things differently, folks. We're going to have to start thinking outside of the box. We're going to have to start saying to ourselves, we have got to change things for ourselves. That's pretty much what we're going to have to do. And it's not going to be easy at all. It's going to be very, very, very difficult because the incumbent has a whole lot of powers at their disposal. And for those who think it's going to, for those of you who listened to me several weeks back, several months back, I said it was going to be almost impossible for Donald Trump to win if we put up the kind of candidate I thought we would put up. What I mean is an Elizabeth Warren or a Bernie Sanders. I knew that Americans were in such dire straits that if they saw a change, if they saw that their lives were going to change in such a manner that it was substantive, in such a manner that they could see the end of the tunnel, and it's not just, well, I better stay with what I have now because I know what I have. If Americans saw that, they are ready. They are ready to jump ship. Hello, Lee Grant. Welcome aboard. Sorry we're late today. So now that we have a status quo candidate, or I shouldn't say now that we have a status quo candidate, now that is likely that we are going to have a status quo candidate, many Americans are falling back because, they see, I don't know, anybody watching me right now, did you see Biden's press conference yesterday? Yesterday or the day before, I don't remember which one. These days kind of run into each other. Anybody saw the press conference? I really would love to see anybody who saw the press conference without wearing colored glasses. I would like to know what you really, really thought about it. Because I can tell you what I thought about it. And this is not because I am a Sanders supporter, not because I am a Warren supporter, not because I'm a Yang supporter, means that I cannot be objective as I watch other candidates, whether they be Joe Biden or anybody else. I can still be objective, and I was objective. And what concerned me most is not only the slight incoherency, but the snap, the teleprompter mistakes, the way he answers questions. They were just not what I think if he goes on to a debate stage with Donald Trump would put him in such, the things that Bernie could have done at that last debate to really get Biden in a frazzle, but he didn't do it. Bernie Sanders didn't do it because he doesn't want to be a spoiler. He wants to win if the people make him win. He don't want to win by simply pulling down Biden, which is unnecessary, right? If Biden is going to be holding the bag for Democrats, the last thing you want to do is have another Democrat really pull him down. As much as I speak about him, if you notice, I make sure that when we talk about Biden, it's not in a manner that is something that, anything worse than what Donald Trump would say or anything of that nature. And if you look at the way Sanders went about it, Sanders didn't make that mistake and really tear him up to that extent either. So, but anyhow, so going back to the polls, his numbers are up. You know what I want to do? Let me go ahead and show you guys this poll, because as it turns out, when you see this, you're going to really notice that this is not some accident or something like that. Take a look at this. Let me go ahead and put the poll on the screen. If you take a look at, where are you, screen? There we go. Okay. President Trump's polls at 49%. There it is on the screen. And it says, President Donald Trump may be enjoying a small rally in public support as the nation faces the COVID-19 pandemic. 49% of U.S. adults, up from 44% earlier this month, approve of the job Trump is doing as president. Trump also had 49% approval rating, the best of his presidency, in late January and early February, around the time the Senate impeachment trial that resulted in acquittal. There are two different dynamics that happen there, right? The first dynamic is that he won the impeachment battle in that he was not impeached. And for those who are not very well schooled in all the things that occurred in that impeachment, they figured, oh, he must be innocent. Bam, his poll number goes up by a few people who just said, oh, he got off, just like what happened with Clinton. But then people started to realize exactly who the guy, that it wasn't quite an acquittal per se, that it was just they didn't have enough people to convict. But that said, this kind of a rise that he has with the COVID-19 is a bit different. Because what a lot of folks don't see is what's going on in the alternate media. In the mainstream media, yes, some of these people called Trump out for his lies. They call him out for all these things. But you know what a large percentage of people don't do? A large percentage of people don't watch uh, mainstream media. A lot of people out there are watching this type of media, independent media, by all sides. And the side that's winning the independent media battle right now is not our side. The left in the independent media is not winning the battle. We have a few big ones. TYT is the biggest one of our independent medias. And then we have the little ones, the medium-sized ones, that are print only. We have the Common Dreams and these others. And then you have the independent shows like Politics Done Right, and you have a few others that are really, really trying to make it to keep people informed. But the majority of the monies, the majority of the income, if you take a look on Facebook and you take a look at the paid ads on Facebook and the particular throughput of the folks, and here's the issue with the problem with Facebook a lot of times, and I need you to understand this because people don't understand why this is the case. I need you to understand this. Facebook has an interesting algorithm, right? Facebook tries to give you the things that you are most likely to want and absorb. Well, Donald Trump has a floor of about 44% of people that want his material. And Facebook knows who those people are. So they all get continuous bombardment by the entire Trump intelligentsia. They get all his material. They get all his lies. The stuff that they get is plausible. I read them because I get right-wing stuff as well. In fact, a lot of the messages the way it works is as follows. The Trump people send out blogs of different sizes, blogs that are ready-made. That goes to independent bloggers that are supporting the cause. Those independent bloggers go out and put all those blogs that comes sanctioned by the Trump machine. When they are sanctioned by the Trump machine, they all put these in thousands of blogs, right? And by the way, all these blogs are then supported by the machine. So if I decided that I wanted to be a right-wing blogger, I could be rich. Because what would happen then is that support would come from the machine for all these blogs that go out there that I get as well, right? I get the blogs to put on my site. I never put them on my site, of course. But that is what happens. And above and beyond the blogs, we also get the exponential increase in the data by Trump's teams buying a whole lot of Facebook ads, Twitter ads, and all these different ads in a lot of different forms coming from a lot of different blogs so that it doesn't look like it's one person putting it out. The reason you don't see it is if you are on Facebook, if you're listening to me on Facebook and you're a regular here with me on Facebook, you are likely getting most of your data that you like. Data, left, middle, and that's what they send you most of the time. Every now and then a Trump stuff may slip in, right? They may open, when they're targeting under Facebook, they may go ahead and open the window a bit to see if they can hold on and trap a lot of people, but they don't want to open it too wide to get to the very liberal folks who would then write material to directly counteract the programming that they're doing to their people. All of this is science. This is all internet science. And that is how they're doing it. No, Lee Grant, this isn't conspiracy theory. Because of how I do things, I get it on both sides. I get the data on both sides. So here's the deal. Like I said, the left, in our very, I don't want to say elitist way, but because we know truth always reigns, right? We don't necessarily support these if you take a look at Common Dreams, and you take a look at Daily Kos, and you take a look at Op-Ed News, you look at Politics Done Right, it seems like we're always saying, hey guys, support us, support us, support us. If you look at even Raw Story, the owner of Raw Story, a good friend of mine, you see these guys are constantly saying, hey, support us, support us, support us. We need your support to move on. But take a look at the right-wing sites. They have a little donate button, and they make every now and then put out a little message that say, hey, support us. But they don't need to do that. They don't need to bother you to say, hey, support us, because they are supported. Okay? They are supported. I am not going Alex Jones on you, Brother Grant. You know me better than that, Grant. That's why you're here all the time, brother. You know that what I'm saying. And as much as you are conservative, super conservative, you know that I don't just create stuff for the sake of creating stuff. I've been talking about this for a while. The reason I'm bringing this up is that when I saw the poll numbers today, I wanted to let our people, including you, you're my people too, know exactly why Trump numbers seem so steady and now rising. It's not happening by accident. Okay? It does not happen by accident. There is a science behind this, and I'll put it bluntly. Our Democratic side is very old school, and that is the reason why, they have look, in the right they have Trump because Trump used his marketing skills to get on. But Trump's team is a very young team that knows social media, knows internet very, very well. And they can make somebody who is not very likable plausible. And that is what they've done. So this is not going to change. And this is what, when I told you guys that it's almost impossible for a Democrat to lose in November, I meant all things being equal. And right now they're not. I spend all day on the internet, on all sites, from Red State, all these other sites I spend a lot of time on. And the one thing you can, and let me just show you guys if you doubt what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and show you Red State, okay? Let me back up here because this is important. A lot of people need to understand what's going on here because they don't quite redstate.com. This is one of the premier sites on them, right? Look at the front of this site. Clean. You don't see it asking for much. I don't even have. Does it even have a donate button? I don't know. This is one of their main medias, and all they do here is give you information that is spun on the right side. Okay, this is spun on the right side. Very, very plausible. The things sound very real. So so when people look at this, they say, "Oh, this looks like real news," and it does. You may see a few. Let me see. I don't even know if you have ads, but Red State. This is Red State for you. But let's take a look at Common Dreams now. Notice this. You don't see any superimposing things saying, "Okay, please make sure and support us." You see a few Ring Central ads, etc. Now, if we go to the left now, we go to Common Dreams. Common Dreams is a site that has very, very good stories, well written, well sourced. All right? You come to this stuff, and you go to one of their stories, and, they have their subscribe button, donate button. At the end of the story, they ask you, please, 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 make sure and support us. PayPal, ActBlue, card. We can go to Daily Kos sends out millions of emails every day. Give us $5. Give us $3. Because that is the only way it stays. If we go to Op-Ed News, and by the way, I donate to each of these particular sites. I'm a subscriber to each of these sites because I use a lot of their material. I read a lot of their material. I contribute to a lot of their material. And so, I give them data, I give them stories, I give them articles, but also that they have to stay in business. So check this out. You go here, and it's the same thing. It's about, please provide this information. Once you log into here, that's what they do. They ask you for support. And the reason why, again, is because you go to Daily Kos. Daily Kos does most of theirs. Well, the reason you don't see any ads here is that I'm logged in. If I log out, then you'll see what if I log out of the thing, then you'll see it's a different. There we go. It comes up right away and it asks you to do something when you're logged out. But anyhow, so that when you look at Donald Trump's why is Donald Trump's rating high? Donald Trump's rating is high because they have a well-oiled infrastructure, and their folks support the platforms that keep them ahead. It's a lot less of them than us. There are a lot more of us. We're not as wealthy. I mean, we're just not as wealthy as they are. We don't have the corporate dollars coming in as they do. Anyhow, I just wanted to kind of give people see that. And by the way, if you want to see the trajectory, right? Here's the trajectory of Donald Trump. If you take a look, the steadiness is amazing. This is his 2009 trajectory right there, as you can see. Anywhere between 37 and 45 in 2019. But look at what happens in 2020. His low is 44. His high, 49. So don't sit down there and not believe that Donald Trump is not on an increase in his performance. And the reason why, again, is a steady and continue mastication of the data. They go out there and they know exactly what they have to do, and they also know how to micro-target to pick up the areas that they need to pick up on. And if we as progressives don't understand that, and if we as progressives don't have a narrative that can trump this micro-targeting and all these types